טוב לכולם, מי שעדיין עומד מוזמן לשבת. זהבה, אני זוכר פרצופים. אז קודם כל שמח לראות שיש התייצבות עקבית מבחינת המספרים. התחלנו משהו יפה לפני כמה מיטאפס, ובינתיים זה משתמר ואפילו מרגיש שתופס תאוצה. קבוצת פייסבוק הפכה להיות פלטפורמה פורה מאוד לדיונים לעיתים מאוד רגשיים, אבל מעניינים, אז מי שעדיין לא בפייסבוק של ES6 שיצטרף. ולא בשביל לשבת עם חיוך ולראות אנשים מתנגחים אחד בשני על דברים מקצועיים. לפני הכל, סתם בשביל גם להבין מי הקהל, מי פה באמת עובד בריאקט, אם בעבודה, אם בתור תחביב. יש לנו פה בערך חצי מהאנשים, ומי שלא הצביע, היד שלו עובדת, רק תראו לי. יופי, אז ככה אפשר לסמוך על קבוצת הבדיקה. מי שלא הצביע היה מעוניין שיהיה מיטאפים על חומר קצת יותר למתחילים גם. דברים ככה, בסדר, נצהיר על זה וזה, לכל המקצועים יותר. אנחנו בגדול מאוד משתדלים, טוב, תפסיק להצטנע. אני בגדול מאוד משתדל שהמיטאפ הזה יהיה על חומרים מתקדמים, כדי שלאנשים שכן יש להם כבר קילומטראז' כלשהו, יהיה בכל זאת משהו מעניין לשמוע, כי אני לא אוהב מיטאפס שהן פחות יעילות לעומת טוטוריאל שאפשר לראות או משהו שאפשר לקרוא באינטרנט. אז באמת אנחנו מקפידים להביא אנשים שבאמת עובדים עם זה, שבאמת צבור ניסיון, שמאחר כך לגשת אליהם לשוחח איתם אפשר גם ללמוד. אז זה בגדול האופי, אבל אולי לאט לאט גם נתחיל לגוון, לעשות סוג אחר. בדיוק לאחרונה חשבתי על רעיון של לעשות שיחות מאוד קצרות, שאנשים באים, מציגים מה הסטק שלהם, ואחרי זה מתפזרים וקצת ניגשים אליהם, שואלים שאלות, מתייעצים, ככה לעזר בניסיון שלהם למי שמתלבט בבחינת טכנולוגיה. כמה מילים על קלרנה שמארחת אותנו בנדיבות רבה עם פיצות, שזה הדרך הכי טובה לליבו שמפתח. אז קודם כל באמת תודה רבה להם על המקום ועל האבזור ועל האוכל וההכנות. הם היו מאוד ידידותיים ואני מאוד מקווה שמצאנו בית קבוע למפגש. קלרנה לא סתם מארחים אותנו, הם גם עובדים לעצמם עם ריאקט, והדובר השני פה יהיה חואן שמאוד חזק בתחום, מוביל פה את כל המעבר של הטכנולוגיה בקלרנה, אז יהיה הרבה מה ללמוד ממנו ולשמוע ממנו. הוא גם היה, ואני מאוד מקנא בו על זה, בכנס באירופה של ריאקט, ופגש את כל השחקנים הגדולים שם, אז יהיה מעניין לשמוע אם יהיה לו זמן לשתף. זאת אגב תהיה הרצאה באנגלית. ומעבר לזה נאמר לי שקלרנה מגייסים, אז מי שרוצה אחר כך לרשום את הפרטים הרלוונטיים בהחלט מוזמן. מי שידבר ראשון זה ולדימיר מ-90 Minutes, הוא קצת יספר עליהם. הוא בעצם מלווה אותנו מתחילת הדרך של המיטאפ, בזכותו יש לכם את הוידאוים שאתם יכולים לראות. ובנקודה זו אני גם מציין שאנשים, מכיוון שזה גם מאוד מקצועי, מאוד משקיעים בהכנה של ההרצאות, אני מאוד אעריך את זה אם כולם יישארו עד הסוף. זה שתי הרצאות של 3/4 שעה, מעניינות, על חומרים טובים, וככה נביע את הערכה שלנו למאמץ שאנשים עושים. יש לי עוד נקודה אחת לפחות להגיד, ואז אני משחרר את הדברים לדבר. מי שמתכוון להישאר עד הסוף, אני אשמח אם כמה אנשים יעזרו לנו קצת לקפל אחרי זה, רק להחזיר כיסאות בשולחנות פה, ולא להשאיר אותי לבד לעשות את זה. למרות שאני could use בספורט. וזהו, יאללה. תעשו חיים, תענו, תודה שבאתם, בבקשה.
Thanks, Zoran. I hope you don't mind. This lecture will be in English. So, yeah, first one, not the second. So, hello guys. Hello React.js Israel. I'll start from from the beginning, who am I? I'm Vladimir Novick. I'm a front-end developer and architect at 90min. 90min is a football media platform. We have content writers across the globe that distribute content. That's better. That write articles and videos and distribute them in 10 different languages in 4 continents. Have a rich platform written in ES6, have 30 million unique users. That's basically what we do. Well, this lecture is about going from this point to this point. You may be familiar with job demand, rockstar ninja guru developer. So it's this guy. ECMAScript 6. Well, you've heard that ECMAScript 6 was around like a couple of years. There were talks about ECMAScript 6. Now in July it's officially standard. So why should you use it today? Well, most of people, when I ask them why you don't use ECMAScript 6 in production, they say compatibility. That's the main point. The problem is that all major browsers support something like between 30 to 60+% of ECMAScript 6 natively in the browser. So in order to write ECMAScript 6, we have to pick the appropriate tool. And we picked the winning transpiler, which is called Babel, previously 625. You may have heard about it, maybe not. But it gives me the ability to write in ES6, which transpiles to ES5. So what I will do today, I want to write a basic application, and I will use Sass, I will use React, I will use Flux, and I will use ECMAScript 6. But you may say, well, I don't want to use ES6, I don't want to use Sass, I want to use less. So in your project you may use Coffee or Less or Angular or TypeScript, and all this lecture will be relevant to you too. So how do you do that? You need to take all your assets and bundle them somehow. You need to process them through one endpoint. The tool which you chose in 90min is Webpack. Yeah, because it was, well, you may ask why another model bundler. You heard of Browserify or other model bundlers. Why should you use Webpack? Well, Webpack sits on Node runtime. It uses Node runtime. It gives you the ability in configuration phase to take all your assets, maybe traverse through your file system, take your assets, process them through some transformations you define, and just to put them into your bundle and serve to the client. So you can use syntax of Node, all the required stuff. Webpack has some pretty awesome features. It has loaders, plugins, hot models reload, and code splitting. Well, what is loaders? Loaders in Webpack is a tool that gives you the ability to take your code, your files based on some regex, and parse through the loader itself and transform it to something new. You want to use TypeScript, use TypeScript loader. You want to use Sass loader. You want to use Less, whatever, you use loaders. Also have plugins. Plugins extend Webpack with some configuration options. You can add some configuration. You can change some loaders' behavior. You can parse your loader through the plugin. We have hot models reload. This one especially is relevant for us, the React.js community. Let's say you have an application. You have a single-page application, and you have some loading screen, and you hit load, and you go inside the menu, and you do some actions inside your application. And when you change your code, you want the code to be reloaded, but you don't want full page reload. It sucks. You don't want to reload all your page all the time and do all the actions you did to get to the module. So hot modules reload gives you the ability to reload your modules on the fly without live reloading the page. Have code splitting. Maybe you want some code to get asynchronously, some modules to load asynchronously. You want some different entry points to be bundled together, with bundles separate. Well, Webpack gives you this ability to use this. So let me show you what we will build. It's a pretty simple application. You have the loading screen, you hit, you have some memory game with some team logos, you have menu and you can start new game. Sorry, I had breakpoint here. And it starts again, and then you have another other randomized images. So we'll build something like that from 0 to the point you see on the screen. So let's code, and let's start with vanilla React app, really basic stuff. You can hear me like that? Okay. So, sorry. We'll get to our code. Here's our code. Everybody sees the code? Okay, so what I have here is wait a second, some webstone bug. Okay, never mind. It's empty here, I guess. So basically what we have here, we have some index HTML with inline style. We don't have any styles right now, so I put some basic stuff to show you the screen. We have JS6 welcome screen component rendered on the screen with React render. We have JS6 transformer. I will use it only for this step, so don't worry, it's only for this step. So basically I have all stuff inline inside my code, which I don't want. I want to be able to load my modules on demand. I want to be able to bundle them. So let's start. The first thing I should do, assuming I'm using Webpack, and I am, I need to do some npm install Webpack, npm install web dev server. I won't do it now, I already have some modules installed. So, what should I do? The first thing, I will remove all the transformers because I don't need them anymore, and I will remove my welcome screen JS6. And I will specify that I want some bundle inside the dist folder, which I don't have here. So what should I do? The first thing, I should create a JavaScript file called Webpack config.js, and this will be the file that will be passed to Webpack as a config if you run Webpack inside this inside your folder. Okay, so I said before that Webpack is based on Node runtime, so you can use Node syntax, which is module exports equals some configuration object. My configuration object will have some things. It will have entry point, it will have some output, also, yeah, like that. I want dev server because right now right now, if I go to, you familiar with this WebStorm built-in server? Who's familiar with this? If you're not, if you use WebStorm, use this port and you will have built-in web server. I don't want to use it. I want to use Webpack dev server, and you see we have nothing because we just removed styles. So I want some dev server configuration, and I want to resolve some module directories. Meaning, when you use require in context of Node, how does it work? Node knows to search for these modules inside locally installed Node modules, and if Node doesn't find them, and also it searches in the general, when the modules you install with npm install -g. So basically, after I will fill in, I don't have much time, so I will just show you how it's supposed to work. This will be my final output. Let's go over the stuff that is printed here, and I will explain. First of all, I will use path. Path points to its Node module that gives me the ability to traverse to the file system. I have resolve object, which gives me module directories property, which is an array of what folders to search in when I do require. Meaning I can add some other folders except Node modules. I want to search in my root, or I want to search inside some front-end view. If, let's say, you have front-end and server directories. Extensions. When you put here some extensions, then you don't need to specify explicitly what extension of the module you require. I have entry, which is entry.js. I want to use source maps. Who does know what is source maps? Who doesn't know? Okay, so basically source map gives you the ability, when you generate source maps, it's like a pointer between your transpiled or transformed code to the original code. In that way you can see your original code inside the browser. We will use this for ECMAScript 6 later on and for SAS. You have output with path, which is this public path, and file name bundle.js, and some configuration for dev server. Now, in order to run it, I've added some. Sorry, you cannot see if I. Right, it's too small. In package.json, I added some npm scripts. You may use gulp or grunt or whichever you like. The main point that you need to run Webpack task, which is Webpack dev server, progress, colors, and config. Well, now I want to run it. Sorry. I want to run it. Run it with npm run dev, and I will have some my content served to Webpack. If I go now to localhost, I will have basic applications. Sorry, I'll have basic application, and when I hit logo, I see stuff here. Here will be our new game. This one is not working yet. So how I did that? I added some code. I not just added the config. If we look inside our entry.js, just created. Let me just reload WebStorm because I don't like it. Sorry for the technical issues. Okay, that's much better. I have entry.js now. Yeah. I have entry.js, which I specified in Webpack config. See entry.js here, I have entry.js here, and I can require now my modules through in my entry.js. So I bring React. Sorry. I bring React. I don't need to include it in HTML anymore. I bring my application module, and I render, I create. I cannot use JS6 syntax yet because I don't have any loader support that supports JS6 right now, but I will do it later. So I just use React create element syntax with application name as a hero, hero. My application component resides here. It's really basic React component with some welcome state, which is on click transformed to from true to false, and shows me a header, menu, and game, which is also React component. Really basic stuff without any, well, maybe menu with something. Okay, so it's the first step, right? I have my bundle inside the index.html, but I still have these styles, and it's really not nice to have them inline. I want them to be modular too. I want to require them in my Webpack with all other assets. So in order to do so, I need to use loaders. As we talked before, what loader give you the ability to take something, transform to something else, and inject into Webpack. So we have Sass. We want to use Sass, so obviously we should use Sass loader, right? So the syntax will be module loaders. Sorry. It's an array which has some objects. The loader object will have test property, which basically will be regex. We want Sass, right? And we'll have loader. We will use Sass loader. Of course, if you want to use any loader, you should install it before with npm install, but as I said before, I already did it. So I have Sass loader, but Sass loader is not enough because Webpack doesn't know how to load CSS either, so I need to pipe it with other loaders. Yes, Webpack gives us the opportunity to pipe loaders like this with this syntax. So now I have Sass loader piped to CSS loader. But what happens if in my Sass I have background images, or I have some icons which have other extension than Sass? Well, Webpack know how to deal with it. You should use this loader. It's called URL loader. It gives you the ability to take all fonts, SVGs, JPEGs, GIFs, and PNGs, and bring them along with your CSS to the client. Also, you have this nice option. You want only to bring large images, and small one you want to transform to data URIs and put inside your CSS, for instance. So I can use this syntax, and it will work. I added some custom styles, so I will just show you how it should look. Okay, so basically I have some other stuff added here. I have Sass extension because I need to know how to require Sass files. I have some weird plugin here, right? We talked before what plugin is, but what this extractx plugin? You may say you didn't tell us before that you will use plugins, so now I'm telling you. Basically, what extractx plugin does, it extends the functionality of Webpack and gives the opportunity to get all the loader output, go through the plugin, and the output of the plugin will be style CSS file, which you can just put inside your index.html, and it will be served to the as if it would be CSS file on the server. You see in plugins. Plugins configuration here, I have some new extract-text plugin with style CSS. If I go inside index.html, I see all my style sheets are just comment out, and I see this style CSS, but you don't see any dist folder here, right? So when you run Webpack dev server, Webpack process all your Sass. The process through Sass loader pipes to CSS loader and extracts it into style CSS, which is served to the client as if it was this style CSS. So really nice thing. I've added something more. I've added source map and source map content here. We've talked about source maps a couple of minutes ago, that it gives you some kind of pointer between your transpiled code to your original code. I'll show you how it would look. One thing, when you change Webpack configuration, you need to restart your Webpack dev server, unless you use some node or whatever. It's out of scope. If you want to know how you reload Webpack configuration on the fly, it's a different topic for maybe a lecture. So let's check it out. I have the same thing I had before, right? It's our new game without just with styles, but you've just seen they are comment out. So now I want to select my element here, and you see I have. Can you see what's written here, or I should increase the size of the font? Guys, you see? Okay. So you see I have menu Sass here. This is my Sass file inside the console, right? This is the power of source maps. You see this content here. Also, you can. I will show you later on, but you can change your content inside the console, and it saves to the file system. We'll talk about it a little bit later. Also, if you go inside Webpack, you will see our components, which I just showed, also with the power of source maps. Okay, so what will be logical next step? The logical next step will be switching to use ES6, right, and the ECMAScript 6. So this is what we'll do. Yeah. You can do it.
I can edit the source map itself.
Yeah, you can, if you go inside workspaces and add your folder to workspace, and then you map to file system resource, all changes you made inside the file you see in the console will be saved to file system.
Actually means like editing in my editor.
Yeah, yeah, you can use your Chrome, for instance, to edit like in your editors. That's the point. Okay, so the logical step, as I said, will be moving to ES6, right? So in order to move to ES6, I have a question to you. What should we use? Right, who said loader? Nice. Okay, so we need to use loader. Which loader? If you answered, which loader? Loader, right. So it will test our JS file. Sorry, we'll test our JS files, and it will have Mavel, loader, with optional runtime. You have some different configuration options for the loader. You can read it on this on their repo. Really nice stuff. You can use for that. So let me. How much time? Okay. So let me just show you. I won't rewrite all the code right now because it will take some time, but I will show you how it should look. So you can see here, I use the loader with optional runtime. I just wrote, and I need to exclude some modules. I need to exclude node modules and libs and vendors, some stuff. Yeah.
Why do you need to specify optional runtime?
Because I use the loader in runtime inside the Webpack dev server, so this is one of the features I need to specify. Because it runs on the runtime and transpires on the runtime.
It actually has a hook on the required. It actually has a hook on the required. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at our code now. Entry.js still requires stuff, but our app.js is actually ES6. It has imports, it has classes, it exports, uses ES6 export, and also I added some code. I added some simple store. I added some simple actions. In a minute or two, we will go over how it's structured and what are the key points of moving from React from ES5 to ES6. But you see, I have actually ES6 inside inside my code. Also, with the power of source maps, sorry, I need to run dev, and I will have a game. Okay. So if I go inside my Webpack components, and let's say I'll go into store. See, I have ES6 here. Okay, let's put a debugger. See, I debug ES6 code. Nice, right? Regarding the question below, how before which I answered, how you change things on the fly, let's do some mapping. I map to the file system resource, and then if let's say I have some here, sorry, if let's go inside the menu. I open the menu, I have new game and contact. Let's say I want to add some stuff here. I'll add contact 2, right? I save. What happens? My application reloads, I go inside my menu, and I have contact 2. When I go inside my Webstone menu, it's changed, and it has contact 2 here. Nice, right? But you've seen that my page reloaded, right? And I need to click on the welcome logo and go inside the menu and open menu.
It's a first world problem.
Yeah. The hot module reload helps us to fix that. But before we go to hot module reload, let's check out what just happened with React and the ES6 and how you should write components in ES6 React. Let's start with our entry, which, as before, has some app component and renders it. Our app component. Most of you, as I've seen, use React, right? Some of you use React in production, right? So you're familiar with get default state and get initial state and get default props, right? you know this that you have to pass get initial state of the React create class configuration object. In ES6, that's not the case. You don't do get initial state, you don't do get default props. In ES6, you have constructor. And basically, what is get initial state if not putting your initial state inside constructor, inside this state? That's basically what I do here. I have this state, which get welcome state from store, application store. And when I change, I set state to also get application state. Something to point out in ES6 React, you have to bind your handlers. Meaning, if you have the click handler, you should call this handler complete, for instance, and you need to bind it to this. There is some best practice to do so. Basically, if you look at inside app component, it extends from React component. That's the syntax how you should write components. But yes,
You know if we're going to change it to ES 2016, like to be able to do this inside of the class and reference class, which is a logical thing.
yeah, this is logical. But what I'm pointing out that when you take all your classes. Okay, if in maybe if I understand correctly, in 2016, if they decide to change React component to something else, we need to change all the React component. That's what the question, right? More or less. Okay, so that's what I was getting to. The best practice is not is to extend from React component, but to create some base class, which will extend from React component. This base class will have some bind function, which you can use to bind your elements. Answering to your question, to some 16, if you have instead of React component number 2 or to some 2016, you just change it in one place and you're good to go. So that's the best practice. So basically, we have some application and some store, application store. Application store listens to actions, the new game action, start action, and update score, which is not here anymore. Never mind. And the new game returns some state with flipped image and guesses, and it generates images taken from assets. Here, all the images. Has some randomized image method. I won't go over inside the syntax of each method. If you want, after when I post the video, I will and the slides, I will post GitHub repo. You can clone and play with it and do whatever you like. It also has all the steps, so just go from step to step and see yourself. So I have application store, I have some app actions, which is some actions on the dispatcher, and I have game, which on company did mount, adds change listener, or on unmount it removes change listener. It has some show image method, and that's basically it. So really simple application. So my next logical step will be to add hot models reload. I talked like 5 times about hot model reload. Let's use it eventually. In order to do so, I have to add some more plugins and some more configuration. First of all, I have dev server configuration, which I kind of skipped before. We talked dev server configuration means that I need to serve my content from the root, and I have it inline because I went at dev server, and I need to use watch true. That's the live reload you saw on the page. That's watch true. in order to use hot models reload, I need to add hot true, and I need to add another entry point which is hot dev server. This is the configuration. Also, I need to use plugins. So, Hot Models Reload, it's a plugin included with Webpack. It's nothing external you need to install, like with this Extractx plugin. So I just need to require my Webpack. Webpack, right? I cannot use ES6 syntax here, right? You know, somebody can answer me why I can't use. Right. Okay, so I do new Webpack, hot model replace and plugin, and I want to use named model plugin. I think it's like that. Meaning I want to reload my models, but I also want Webpack dev server to print a console which model was reloaded. So just yeah, I was correct. With all plugins and loaders are listed on Webpack org. So if you don't remember the exact name, yeah. I know. That's almost the end. So I do a run dev. Sorry. Zoom in, yeah. Wait a second. Let's check it out. I know why. Wait a second. Some technical issues. Yeah. No. So now I see here. Yeah. When I go inside menu and let's say I add some contact. Something is missing. Okay.
You're missing hot tool in the dev server.
Yeah, also missing here the stuff. Okay. And I have some snippets here, so not happy. This one and I add hot true and I add entry point, right?
require Webpack at the very top.
Ah, right. You were supposed to tell this 5 minutes ago. No, just kidding. Webpack, require Webpack. And let's run it. Okay. Yeah, you see hot model replacement enabled. So I go inside my menu with another contact. I just remove it and I save. Not working. Maybe I forgot what's wrong. No, what's wrong? Then I have replacement one.
Don't you have to put some external JavaScript file in the index HTML?
No. Works without.
Oh wait, I think you're missing the React HTML.
Right. Thanks a lot. Well, for React, I had to add React Hot, which is React Hot Loader. It gives the ability to reload React components. Thanks. So now I need to run this. And go here, and component, and you see. So let's go to let's get to the end. Well, that's basically it. This was our application, and thanks. You're awesome, guys. The question will be right now. You're awesome, guy. Thanks for coming. Thanks for listening to this lecture. Sorry for my bad English, or maybe something was not you couldn't understand. We can talk on the break. Your question, just come to me on the break and we'll discuss. Also, guys. Okay, great. So, question.
I was wondering if you can say more about the optimization of because I noticed that you use the runtime.
Yeah.
And if you don't do any special configuration, you just do a simple React hello world with Bubble, you get a bundle file of 20,000 lines, which weighs more than 1.6. So I was wondering, I assume that your bundle is not very.
How do you success?
Sorry? Not CSS nothing, just hello world.
Doesn't make sense.
Just for Bubble.
If you use it in
If you
use it.
special, if you
You don't minify?
anything special, no minify, no nothing. It's source but if you
No, source maps, yeah. So source maps can be pretty heavy. So, well, I talked before about code splitting. The logical optimization will be to split your code into chunks. And regarding the huge web loader file, that can be because you use it on dev server, and dev server itself, it's a huge chunk of code that gives you all the ability to hot model reload and all the stuff. So that probably it. Or you did just Webpack without dev server and you got.
I went with the default, but if you say the source maps and
Okay. So another.
the runtime, you use the runtime.
Yeah. It gives me the ability to parse all the on dev server through the loader on the runtime. Another question?
Maybe you know my English run away. אוקיי, יש לך פלאגינים מומלצים ל-Webpack שיכולים לעשות אופטימיזציה אולי, לא יודע, סתם, הוא זורק לאוויר, מוציא קוד משותף לצ'אנק בנפרד, או מוריד קוד, מזהה קוד שלא בשימוש ומעיף אותו, אופטימיזציה.
You actually don't need to use plugins for chunks. With Webpack it comes by default. I didn't cover it in the live coding because I just wanted to create one simple application. But with Webpack you can specify what entry points you want to use and how you can split to chunks, and also you can load your chunks asynchronously. So it's done without plugins. Also regarding some plugins to advise, there is some, the one especially like that creates your HTML, right? This one. What was the name of it? Yeah,
It uses a template file to create an
Yeah.
HTML and just gives you the entry point. So
yeah, so you don't need to use index HTML. You just create
I
your.
use it
Okay.
okay, so that's
Okay.
one way.
So another final word, guys. As I said, from 98 min, we use ES6 React with 30 million unique users across the globe. We really love working in this environment, and you see here the ES690million.com. Just write a few words, we'll talk, and we're fine. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
אוקיי, חבר'ה, נעשה